Hey everyone, welcome on in everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're at the Flight Sim World. This is Viper Strike 95 here, and this is leg 2 of our Route 66 journey. And we're back here where we ended up on Sunday. This is Abraham Lincoln Capital Airport, just outside of the capital of Illinois, Springfield. So today will be quite the important day. It's going to be one of the shorter legs, but we do have some really cool sights to see for today. Good morning to Super Typhon and Dunkar. Great to have you here. Eagle Costello, good to see you. And Paparazzi. Great to have all you guys here. So let's go over our nav map plans for today. These ones are gonna be pretty cool. So here's our map for today. Just pop it right in the center of you guys. So we'll be taking off here in our little ultralight. From there, we'll be visiting the Illinois State Fair. Then from there, we'll be visiting the Lincoln Tomb State Historic Site here in Springfield. Then we'll be visiting the Abraham Lincoln Public Presidential Library, the Old State Capitol. We'll be visiting the current Capitol building, the Governor's Mansion of Illinois, and the Lincoln Home. And the reason is obviously Springfield is the famous residence of Abraham Lincoln. I think more people should probably know that. Then from down here, we'll get back onto the highway. We'll be traveling down through, well, I-55, which is currently right now what historic 66 would have been. Traveling on through the highway, we'll be going through Zanesville and Honey Bend. We'll be visiting the little city of Litchfield. We'll be seeing one of the more iconic Route 66 trips, the Litchfield Museum, and the Skyview Drive-In movie theater. We'll pass through the Litchfield Municipal Airport, follow down Route 66. We'll be visiting Mount Olive and the Soulsby Service Station, but also the Mother Jones Monument. Then we'll continue traveling down. We'll be passed through Hamel. Then from there, we'll take a bit of a detour. Once we get through to here, we'll be paying a visit to Collinsville, and we're going to visit the world's largest ketchup bottle. And apparently, it's also known as the horseradish capital of the world, some say. From there, we'll be heading through to the highway. We'll be taking a little bit of a tour of Chacoa Mound State Historic Site, which is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, by the way. Then we'll travel through here, go through Madison, Missouri. Then we'll take the old Chain of Rocks Bridge, which used to this is where Route 66 used to be, and we'll end up here at St. Louis Lambert Airport. It's going to be a pretty short one, 180 nautical miles, so we don't really need to take anything super fast today. In fact, I think we'd be better off taking something nice and slow for today. Something about nearly goes as fast as a car. And speaking of something that goes as fast as a car, we're taking the Aerolite 103 from Nemeth Designs. Oh yeah, Drifter's also great. Yeah, you have the Drifter, that's awesome. I have it too. Yeah, the Drifter is also perfect for this as well. I have the Drifter, but I decided to fly the Aerolite 103 from Nemeth Designs. In fact, Paparazzi, this is actually one of my recommended planes I recommend taking for this one. But this here is this is one of the first little ultralights to come out for the sim back from Nemeth Designs, all the way back, I believe in late 2020. This plane is most famous for when Coffee House used to do his tour across the U.S. in this. But this little ultralight is really capable. It can go up to like 60 knots, which is perfectly good for today's flight. And it has a range of about 100 nautical miles, and the altitude, I believe it's around 8,000 feet for altitude. So, like I said, if you guys ever entered a cockpit of an Aerolite, it's quite easy and it's really simple. It's a simple cockpit. There's not much. You just have your frequency band and your speedometers. So before we get this started, I do want to go over the slideshow for today. Here it is. Let me go make some final adjustments to the slides and all that. Change, make it nice and big. You guys can see the screen. So this is Springfield, Illinois. Now, a bit of a background history of Springfield, by the way. So Springfield is not only is it the capital of Illinois, it is also one of the largest cities in the state. It's the 6th largest in all of Illinois. And it's the 2nd largest city outside of the Chicago metropolitan area. At around 114,394 people. It was originally settled by European Americans in the late 1810s when Illinois became a state. And for obvious reasons, it is their most famous president is Abraham Lincoln. He lived there from 1837 to 1861 when he became president of the United States. And Abraham Lincoln, for many of those who don't know, is one of America's most iconic presidents. He presided during the American Civil War, and he was the major part of many famous things like the Gettysburg Address, but also he officially helped try to end the Civil War and all that. Unfortunately for Abraham Lincoln, he couldn't live to see a second term because he got assassinated by John Wilkes Booth at the Ford Theater in Washington, D.C. But Abraham Lincoln's presidential legacy is massive. And I really recommend you check that out. And there's many different tourist sites around Springfield. The Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library, Lincoln's home site, the Lincoln Tomb, but also you have the Illinois State Capitol as well. There's tons of different attractions. There's the Illinois State Fair as well. So there's definitely a lot of it as well. And another thing Springfield is very famous for is for its food items. Some people have claimed that the corn dog was actually invented here in Springfield back in the 1940s, I believe, under the name the Cozy Dog. Though there is some debate to that. They also have the Made Right sandwich shop, the first drive-through window in the U.S. It's also known for its own type of chili in 1909. There's definitely quite a few unique sites here you can find here in Springfield. Definitely some very iconic parts of it. So I'm gonna circle around and wait for you guys to get back into the air. We have Switzerland in the Cessna 152. Wait, is this Simpson? Oh, don't tell me the sim sounds aren't working. Oh no. Oh no, they were working earlier today. Oh no. Okay, can you guys hear the sim sounds now? You guys hear sim sounds now? Oh, okay, that's weird. Okay, good. That was an issue I had yesterday. Yeah, it sounds like a lawnmower. It makes sense. So we have Switzerland up in the air in a much faster Cessna 152, and yeah, that's Paparazzi in the Drifter, obviously. That's still my favorite ultralight, but I wanted to fly this one for today. So first stop, we're going to enter into the Illinois State Fair. This state fair has been it's been celebrated here nearly every year since 1853. It's currently held in an 11-day period in mid-August every single year. Obviously, it plays a big role of popularizing the corn dog as well, which is a major dish you usually see on a lot of the fairgrounds throughout the country. It's part of the National Register of Historic Places back in 1990, the fairgrounds. around this. In fact, many different things as well. The internal combustion engine was founded during the first half of the 20th century, and they often use the Illinois State Fair as well. There's the racetrack down over here, the Fairgrounds racetrack to our left. So there's the State Ground Fair track. Definitely taking a picture. So that is the Illinois State Fair. So we're going to go ahead and circle back. It's definitely very interesting, so you can definitely see the fairgrounds as well. So you can also see the famed domed building and all that. So they host all sorts of things, from agricultural stuff like animals to races that have been held here, cooking and all that. You can definitely see. So after we end up here, we go to our next landmark here in Springfield. You should be visiting here on the Route 66 journey. We should check out Lincoln's tomb. The Lincoln tomb, for most people, they know it as the final resting place of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, his wife Mary, and 3 of their 4 sons, Edward Lincoln, William Lincoln, and Thomas Lincoln. It's located here at Oak Ridge Cemetery in Springfield. It was constructed of granite and it's featured a large single-story rectangular base surrounded by obelisk. You take 4 flights of stairs leading to the level terrace. The obelisk actually reaches 117 feet high. A bronze recasting of the head of Lincoln stands in the front pedestal. And there's a lot of different ceremonies marking Lincoln's death. His body was placed in a nearby receiving tomb and became the state tomb. Now, the tomb is at the center of a 12.5-acre plot. It features large ornate base with 42 stones. And the interior of the memorial was constructed of marble from Minnesota, Missouri, Massachusetts, Arkansas, Utah, Italy, Spain, France, and Belgium. So that is going to be Lincoln's tomb. I need to fly over the tomb again. Lincoln's tomb shouldn't be that difficult to find. There's Lincoln's tomb, right here in Springfield. So here it is. This is Lincoln's tomb, by the way. So there is Lincoln's tomb right over here. So right here is the Lincoln's tomb, and right around that area is his final resting place, where Abraham Lincoln passed away after his famed assassination. There is his resting place. So yeah, wow, that was in the sim. Yep, it is. Because Springfield got photogrammetry, so we get to actually look at these historical places. There's Lincoln's tomb. Once we end up from Lincoln's tomb and all that, we're going to be heading down to visit the Presidential Library of the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library, which basically documents the entire life of the 16th president, and throughout throughout the course of the American Civil War. Because remember, Abraham Lincoln was the president of the U.S. during that time. It combines scholarship with 21st century showmanship techniques, and it's one of the most visited presidential libraries in the U.S. It contains life-size dioramas of Lincoln's Toyota home, which, by the way, Lincoln was actually born in Kentucky. Areas of the White House during his time, the presidential box at Ford's Theater, which, by the way, was where he was assassinated, and many key events in Lincoln's life, as well as pictures, artifacts, and other memorabilia can be found in the library. So this is the Oak Ridge neighborhood. So if we turn left, this is, yeah, everything looks really good. So there is downtown Springfield. You can definitely see the state capitol, or more specifically, that is the old state capitol. Actually, that's the new state capitol. So here is Springfield. This is downtown, by the way. Actually, I'm going to do this. There we go. Just wanted to take a downtown Springfield. See, that's really cool about the backspace now. You can turn off the nameplate. It makes taking pictures a lot easier. And that's what I really enjoy about it. Is you can definitely take pictures. You can take some really nice pictures without the nameplates. And then if you need to have the nameplates to see who's flying with you, you can always turn them on. Which is really, really helpful. Hey, Kingsman! Good to see you, Kingsman. How you been doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. We're doing leg 2 of our Route 66 journey. And we're actually in downtown Springfield, the state capital of Illinois. With its most famous resident being Abraham Lincoln, by the way. Here it is. So, this here is the Presidential Library of Abraham Lincoln, right here. So this here is the Presidential Library, as you see here. The more information about the library, it was actually founded in 1889 as the Illinois State Historic Library. It was actually its attendance in 2012. The museum received its 3 millionth visitor, and since its opening back in 2005, it's been America's most visited state-controlled museum. In the first 6 months, it generated over $1 million of revenue as well. The library collection contains all sorts of his stuff. So it's definitely a really cool little presidential library. You guys definitely would check it out if you're wanting to know more about the 16th president of the United States. And this here, by the way, to our right, is the old Union Station here. Features many statues of Abraham Lincoln. So once we go over here, we're going to be visiting the old state capital of Illinois. This used to be the state capital of Illinois, by the way. Here, showcase the camera again. I know I like to have to pause a lot, but I want to talk about these landmarks. So yeah, this basically gives you a mini city tour of Springfield, by the way. Okay, let's pop this up. All right, so this here is the Illinois state capitol, by the way, the old state capital, to be fact. It was actually originally built from 1837 to 1840 in the Greek Revival style. It was the 5th Capitol building that was actually built in the state. There were 4 others previously before this. It served as the State House from 1840 to 1876. But this place is most famous for the candidacy announcement by Abraham Lincoln in 1858. And believe it or not, almost 150 years later, Barack Obama made his candidacy bid for president here as well, on his way to become the first African-American president of the United States. He was designated a national landmark in 1961, primarily because of his association with Abraham Lincoln and his political rival, Stephen Douglas, who was competing against him for the 1960 election. So there's that as well. And then after it became the state house, it became the county courthouse for Sangamon County, which is where Springfield is located. And the building was altered again. And then in the early 1960s, the county retroceded the state capital to the state of Illinois, and then they restored it back to its original beauty. So that is the old state capital of Illinois, by the way. A pretty historic building and all that. So definitely that as well. So by the way, guys, if you want to join my channel, by the way, I do have a Discord. Also, if you guys also noticed, on the top half of my video, if you noticed, I actually have a follower goal. So I want to reach 500 followers by the end of the year. So your support definitely would be greatly appreciated. And then, right ahead of us, to our right, this is the new Illinois Capitol building. So this is the new one that's still currently being used today, is the Illinois Capitol building. This is the one currently used today. This is actually, the current building is actually the 6th. They replaced the old one that we saw just a minute ago. It's known for its tall central dome with its roof, and it's actually covered in zinc. So that means it actually does not weather, unlike other metals. And with a total height of 361 feet, it's actually the tallest non-skyscraper capitol in the country. Even taller than the U.S. Capitol building here in D.C., funnily enough. I mean, you'd probably be a little surprised. In addition to this as well, the dome interior is definitely pretty ornate for a state capitol. Now this building was originally built between 1860 and 1888, which means it took 20 years to build the state capitol, by the way. It's cross-shaped in its design, and it was costed. Its total construction cost was at the time $4.5 million. Which is pretty insane. This thing is actually a pretty huge capitol. It's a huge state capitol building. Like it's tall. Then from here, we're going to turn left. We'll be visiting the governor's mansion, where the Illinois governor resides here in Springfield. It's a 16-room manor. It was completed in 1855. Originally occupied by Joel Madison. It is actually one of the oldest historic residences in the entire state. During Christmas season, it's often decorated lavishly with all sorts of Christmas decorations and such. And it also functions as a museum where people can learn the history of the residence and many of its different famous residents that have been held here in the governor's mansion. So the governor's mansion this here is the governor's mansion, by the way. So down over here is the governor's mansion. This is where he resides today. So this here is the governor mansion. So this is where he resides right now, the Illinois governor. And then to our right. Now on our right is another famous historical national park, and this is the Lincoln Home Historic Park. So this here is Lincoln Home, by the way. Here it is. Just need. So the Lincoln Home National Historic Site it preserves the home of not just Abraham Lincoln, but also the historic district around it. This is where he lived between 1844 and 1861. The presidential memorial contains 4 blocks surrounding the home in a visitor center. So some interesting story about this site. Lincoln actually moved here in 1837, and this is where he met his wife in Springfield, and he married there in 1842. The historic house at 413 Southeast Street in Jackson Street was bought by Lincoln and his wife in 1844, and it's the only home he's ever owned. 3 of their 4 children were born here, and one of them, Eddie, the second son, actually died. The house contains 12 rooms spread over 2 floors, and during the time he lived here, he was the House of Representatives in 1846 for Illinois, and he was elected president in 1860. So, and then Lincoln's son Robert actually donated the home to the state of Illinois on the condition that it would be forever be well maintained and open to the public and no charge. And thankfully, it's still kept really well preserved today. And there's also lots of other structures here, like all the homes where the neighborhood was lived, including one of Julius Rosenwald. who was the part owner and leader of Sears and other companies, was around here as well, along with the Dean House and Arnold House as well. So you definitely see some very famous neighborhoods. Captain Erling in Scotland Speedbird, great to see you guys. So yeah, this is the Lincoln Hall National Park. We're actually doing leg 2 of our Route 66 journey. We're heading from Springfield over to St. Louis. We toured over some of the famous historic sites here for the United States. Well, because Springfield, we had to talk about Abraham Lincoln. But yeah, great to have you guys here. Let's go ahead and put some music. Let's put some music for you guys. So it's great to see you guys here. Thank you guys so much for coming on to today's stream. If you guys want to join in, I'm on the East USA server. And our closest airport is Kilo Sierra Papa, India. Flying with us today, we have Switzerland in the, which is Castella in the 152, and we have Paparazzi in the Drifter, which, by the way, is a favorite of mine as well. So great to have you guys in a Texas 1. Thank you for following earlier today. Yo, 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 good to see you. We will be flying over Texas, by the way, for Route 66. We'll be heading there for Amarillo. So we're good, and we actually are going to fly over. Since this thing goes as fast as a car, I thought this would be perfect for today. It goes fast as a car. Nice. Yeah, we'll be visiting plenty of Texas as well. So yeah, great to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm feeling better now. For the most part, I'm feeling better. My throat's feeling almost back to normal, and my congestion isn't that big of a deal, so I'm feeling mostly better. But yeah, it's great to be here with you guys, like always. Okay, guys, actually, I want to talk to you guys about something. So, the other day, we got I got the Ants Airplanes Tiger Bomb, which was a really nice freeware back in FSX and P3D. And I actually really, really enjoy it. And I can't wait to show you guys this plane when I get the chance to show it off on stream. But it is a really beautiful biplane. They did a fantastic job with this. And it's only for 15 bucks. It's like 16 bucks, which is an absolute steal for the price. USAPR, good to see you. I wanted to join, but unfortunately you guys fly where I work. Hey, no worries, a Texan 1. Just because you don't seem to fly with me doesn't mean you're not welcome. You're always welcome to be in the chat too. No worries, I completely understand. Our highway, which is about 60 knots. Yeah, and I'm going about 60 knots myself, so I'm not going too fast, hopefully. You have to go now, go to dinner. Thank you so much, Castella, for joining along on today's flight. Even Castella. I hope I get to see you again after dinner. So now we're going down I-55. Now, this interstate was built on top of what Route 66 would have been, so there's still sections of the old road remaining. But yeah, they released some new stuff. I also got the new NVIDIA driver. I got the new NVIDIA driver for the game ready stuff downloaded, so it's running really solid. Just read that Abraham Lincoln came from Hillingham, Norfolk, England. Yeah, his family came from there, but he was born in the United States. Along 55, there is a frontage road. That's where the original 66. That's right. That's very much right there. Yep. Samuel Lincoln. Yeah, Samuel Lincoln was, I think, his family. I think, if I remember correctly, Whoa. Whoa. Samuel Lincoln is like his fourth great grandfather, basically. But Samuel Lincoln was a progenitor of many political figures in the country, like Abraham Lincoln, Enoch Lincoln from Maine, and Levi Lincoln Sr. and Jr. of the Massachusetts governor, representative, and governor. So yeah, it's true. So yeah, that's actually true. So I want to ask you guys, I hope you guys have had a great day so far. I hope you guys are doing well yourselves. So yeah, today is going to be news for Two-Toe Murphy as well. So by the way, guys, I'm part of a virtual airline group known as the Firefly Air. This is my primary BA from FS Hub. If you guys click the link, it'll tell you where you need to go. But basically, it's for free. You don't have to pay anything for it. And it offers a lot. It even has stuff for you guys on the Xbox, by the way. You guys can actually enjoy FS Hub too. So it's for all sorts of people. You're all welcome to join Firefly Air anytime. Yeah, this is cool. What's great about this little ultralight is because you not only have great visibility, but you also go just as fast as a car. You can absolutely see all... It doesn't work for consoles? Yes, it does. Now, for console pilots, you would have to submit a PIREP. Now, if you guys want to actually... Let me show you what I'm talking about for PIREP. Let me get this. So, let's go ahead and... Let me show you. So once we click Pilot Application for your FS Hub account, which is free, you need to go down to Crew Portal, which is, this is your portal as a crew member. I mean, here's me, Team Commander. You need to go to Manual PIREP. Click the Manual PIREP, and you can submit your, it's optional to do your call sign, but it'd be great to do your call sign. Then select the plane you fly, and FS Hub has tons of planes that pick from throughout KO. So pick the one that's either exactly your plane or the closest. And what? Babby! Flying Fabio with 189 people. The Flying Fabio. Fabio, yo! Thank you so much, Flying Fabio. Thank you so much, my dude. Chimichangas and Merlot follows. First time chats to a bunch of people. Fly the Radials. Bordonico. Aces Virtuals, Sozer 1992, R3 Coon, Sterling Archer, and Hypertext Hero, and Coldexus are all first-time chats. Guys, thank you so much. So, guys, I'm doing a brand new stream. This is Late 2 of our journey. This is Route 66, from Chicago to Los Angeles. I'm doing this for FS Hub and for Firefly Air, the virtual airline of the Two-Toe Murphy community, as the senior pilot. So we're going Lake 2. It's about 108 nautical miles. We're heading from Springfield, Illinois to St. Louis. Let me show you the plane. And we have tons of balls. Fly the Radials, Gregor, Eat Barley, TM Malace, Codexes, Agent Frusta. My goodness, you guys are wrecking balls. Yeah. I have a goal. I want to reach 500. So I would love to see as many balls. Have a great flight. Thank you so much, guys. And seriously, let me get a shout out for the Flying Fabio. A wonderful, wonderful guy for the community. One of my absolute favorites. Fabio's amazing. I mean, I don't even have to tell you. So let me go over the for our nav map for today. A's of Virtuals and R3 Cube follows. Oh my goodness. That is insane. No, thank you, Fabio, for the raid. So here's our plan that was supposed to happen for today. So today we visited, we took off here from Springfield. We visited the Illinois State Fair, the Lincoln's Tomb, the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library, Old State Capitol. We visited the Capitol Building of Illinois, the Governor's Mansion, and Lincoln Hall. As Springfield, Illinois was a major part of Route 66. Then we go on the road. We're going to fly down through much of I-55 because that's where much of old Route 66 was built. Visit the small communities of Litchfield and Mount Olive. Then through Livingston, Hamel. We're not going to Edwardsville, unfortunately, but we are going to head to Collinsville because of the world's largest catsup bottle. The UNESCO World Heritage Site, Chocoa Mound. And then go through Madison, Illinois, and end up the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. This is the bridge that originally took people through Route 66. And we'll end up for Lambert, St. Louis. Because I'm doing this based off FS Hub, so that's where it's telling me to go. Mere content requires me to pay attention to listen. And listen, that's hard work, okay? Kind of like Fabio's content. But I skip a lot because like memory gets overloaded. Yeah. Hey, I do things differently too. R3 Cube and Mama with the follows as well. Thank you guys so much. Guys, thank you so much for the new follows. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, my autism does it to me. As someone with autism, I can absolutely relate. As someone with autism, I can absolutely relate to my brain sometimes skipping all this information. Rodonico, thank you so much. Wow, you guys have been absolutely amazing today. We just cracked 463, hoping to get 500 by the end of the year. So yeah, beautiful day. So flying along with me today, we have Paparazzi in the Ants Airplanes Drifter, first Ants airplane to make its way to Microsoft Flight Sim. And it's still my favorite ultralight as well. So yeah, it's great having you guys here. I hope you guys had a blast on Fabio's stream. I know he was doing Scandinavian Airlines in Norway, which, by the way, guys, is an absolutely stunning place to visit in this time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. And I've always enjoyed Fabio's streams as well. That's a great time. And 4X2, thank you so much. Seriously, it's a huge thanks. It's the community that really makes this community is so awesome that there's so many awesome people that the support for this is awesome. So yeah, we're taking the ultralight today, the Aero Lights, because it goes as fast as a car, and we only have 189 miles. So I thought I'd decide, why not take something that goes as fast as a car for this journey? So that would be kind of fun as well. I'm not crazy. Me and Chrono Forge did 3 months ago. So yeah, they sometimes change their dates, Merwaz, and I can understand about me in different dates. It's not a big deal though. It's a pretty minor thing about dates as well. Well, at least you don't have to stop at the traffic lights. Exactly where we gotta go. We don't have to stop at the traffic lights. We just keep going forward. Hey, Dougal McTavish, my good friend Dougal. Yeah, I had a big raid by Fabio, obviously. As you can probably tell with the viewer count. But yeah, this is late too, and I got the sim sounds working this time around. So yes, you can actually hear the sounds of a plane this time. Yeah, it's really, really cool. It's a flying cabriolet. Yeah. No hate towards Chrono Fork, he's a good dude. Oh yeah, I love Chrono Fork streams. Chrono Fork is definitely one of the cooler flight simmers. I love a lot of his Warbird streams. He makes some great Warbird content. And he also did that awesome charity stream too with The Real Charlie 6. And he did a great job with that too. So yeah, we're going to be doing some really fun stuff as well. So, basically for guys who don't know, our part's in 14 parts. Let me go ahead and show you guys the full Route 66 map. And this was based off information from the Route 66 map. And I made this map as close to the original Route 66 as I could. Ooh. And if you see lots of these little markers, it's because I try to keep it originally to the road, but also I try to mark landmarks throughout Route 66, since there's tons of really cool landmarks on that route. So from Chicago, we're heading to St. Louis, then to Springfield, Missouri, Joplin, Tulsa, Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Tucumcari, Albuquerque, Gallup, Flagstaff, Arizona, Kingman, Arizona. Then that one's gonna be the longest leg of the journey. End up in San Bernardino, just outside Los Angeles, and our final stop here in Santa Monica. So yeah, it's long. It's about nearly 2,000 miles. Nautical miles for flight sim, which is in real life over 2,000 miles in real life. So it's gonna be a long route. So I'll be doing those for the next couple streams. And I usually pick planes that will go at least like 2 hours of flight time. So yeah, I hope you guys can now understand the scale of this road. Yeah, I just get frustrated with the bad information going around Twitch. In general, I have no life. Hey, I feel ya. Like, I care more about getting information right on Twitch, and more importantly, I just care about getting accuracy. I mean, that's part of my science background. I want to get things accurately. But yeah, I know that struggle as well. Yeah, and the reason a lot of this is flat is because, like I said, Illinois, like Indiana, is not really known for its hills so much. So, I do want to tell you guys straight up, it's not exactly known for being the most hilly place. So yeah, so let me talk about some news for the last couple days from MSFS add-ons. Let me go ahead and give you guys the news. But also for your Flying Fabio people, for you guys who are here for the first time, I do have a Discord, and then all my VODs are located here at the other platform. And I'm a great member for Firefly Air, the official VA of the two-toner community. I'm his resident researcher and his most decorated pilot in the virtual airline. So I'm a proud member of Firefly Air. And if you guys want to be part of this virtual airline, it's completely free. You don't have to pay for any of the stuff here from Firefly Air. And more importantly, unlike many other stuff for PC, we even have stuff for you Xbox pilots. Yes, we actually have a way that you guys can actually be part of it. Obviously, you need to also have an account for tutomurphy.com as well. But just create your PAL application here on FS Hub, which, by the way, is completely free. You don't have to pay anything. And FS Hub goes really well when you pair it with the landing rate monitor, because the landing rate monitor is also free. And you can connect to FS Hub to create an amazing logbook. You could do GPS tracking with things like the AeroPad, and even a route planner. And you can bring all sorts of things. You can put company routes on there. You can do plans, even from little nav maps. You can import even from SimBreak if you want to. Let's say if you want to do this a long airline flight, but the problem is you don't remember the route really well. Well, guess what? You can import it from your SimBreak account, and you can just put it in there and enter the route. Easy, really simple. It's a great little tool. And finally, the last thing is to download either FSUIPC or XPUIPC, because remember, it's not just Microsoft that you can use this with, but X-Plane and P3D. In a future update, the creator of FS7 lane rate monitor is no longer going to require that, because in the future update, it's going to be SimConnect. And let me show you for your Xbox pilots. So on Xbox, under the crew portal, which is this, you want to collect manual PIREP, and here's your pilot report, by the way. You can do your flight call sign, you can select the ICAO of your plane. Let's say we do FFA 950. I'm flying the Boeing 737-800, and I took off here from Louisville Airport, Hanover Field, Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot, and I decided I'm going to fly it to Los Angeles. So, Kilo Lima Alpha X-Ray, and I can just do my time, date, and submit the pirate. Plain and easy, really easy, and that is how you do your pirates for Xbox. Oh yeah, and it keeps your logbooks and has tons of achievements. And speaking of achievements, let me go over, now obviously I completed a lot of achievements, but these are the, mind you, there's all sorts of achievements you can complete. These are all your single flight achievements you can complete. There is one from Innsbruck. You can do a flight to Innsbruck. It asks me further 59 miles, but you can fly to Innsbruck if you want to. You can do all sorts of approaches at Lufla, Sava, St. Bartholomew. You could do long-range flights. For example, the original A380 flight, the first ever A380 flights from Singapore to Sydney. You can complete that achievement. But we also do multi-flight achievements, which you can do multiple legs. And a lot of these are real-life flights, but others are journeys. You get to learn more about places. I've already done 2 of those on stream. I did the Philippines Island Hop, where I explored the entirety of the Philippines, which was absolutely cool. And I did a full tour of Japan. You could do 10 legs of that. And of course, and then the one I'm doing right now, which is Route 66. I've already completed legs 1. I also managed to complete leg 6, but I'm going to go over it on stream. But yeah, 14 legs of Route 66. But then you do all sorts of streams as well. You can do 7 Wonders of the World. I also did the Orient Express as well on stream. I completed the Orient Express. There's all sorts of achievements. I've been thinking about doing the Lewis Clark Expedition as one achievement as well. And of course, the BA itself has multiple achievements, because if you join a certain virtual airline, they have their own achievements you can do. So yeah, lots of really, really cool stuff. Hey, Planet Neutral, great to see you here. Help me, I want to buy our nearby plane. Take my card away. Yeah, you definitely, the Ants airplane, Tiger Off is really good. Hey, Planet Neutral, good to see you. Guys, if you haven't checked out Planet Neutral, definitely check out my good friend. He's from around my local area as well. And he makes some really fun content for Microsoft Flight Sim. He does a lot of his river runs, and he's definitely really good with it. The mod was so good, I bought the Ants Drifter too. Yeah, the Ants Drifter Ultralight is, in my opinion, the best ultralight you can get in Sim. It's definitely my favorite. Autopilot's really good speed, floats. It goes really fast, which is really, really good. But yeah, it's great to have you guys here as well. BU-131 has brakes in suspension. I know, unlike a lot of other biplanes of the era. Yeah, very much so. So yeah, we're going down through a bunch of the road. Let me go over the news for a little bit, shall we? Let's go over some of the news for today. So obviously we have the Ants Airplanes Tiger model, which is fantastic for 15 bucks. I compare a lot of this to the Stearman. It's a little slower, but I think this thing has way more depth and features than the Stearman. It's got realistic start motions. It's got tons of customization features and all that. Like you could start this like the old plane. You can start the engine by pressing the prop and all that, similar to the 247. It's a very in-depth plane as well. And it also has its own tablet. You can do autopilot with this. So if you want to take a scenic tour, you can do it. You can do full manual engine start procedure with engine priming full auto starts. You can change your wheels with your engine, high FPS props, GPS, tablet, lots of preferences. Like they got tons of features, and for 16 bucks, it's an absolute steal. And obviously, we have our NVIDIA Game Range driver. You guys have actually downloaded upgraded your drivers. Probably want to do that. And then here's a plane that I am really excited for. You know, I'm a huge Boeing fan. So Bluebird Simulations has done some new images of their 757, the Flying Pencil, the largest single-aisle plane ever built. Over 900 757s have been built. Most of them have been the 200 model. But it looks really, really good. And I can't wait to see the 757 in the flight sim world. I mean, huge. It's going to come out into 2023. But it's making me much more excited for it. Because I think that it's one of my favorite Boeings, and I think it'll be a really good Boeing for me to fly. It has more range than the 737, but it's still small enough that you can put it into many airports. So it would be a very exciting plane for me to have in the sim. Aerosoft has previews of their new airport, which is Oslo. Oslo, which is, by the way, the main airport in Norway. One of the larger airports in the entire Scandinavia. If you like, it's a perfect gateway to flying into the Nordic regions, which is Norway, Finland, Sweden, Denmark. There's a couple more things with that. So yeah, I'm kind of excited for the news. I think there's also Latin VFR coming out with the A319, which is, by the way, a plane that I've actually been in for life. Oh yeah, the 757 was a great workhorse. I don't know why Boeing never made an upgraded 757. You would think with the A321 XLR, you would not want to make a new 757, or at least a new re-engine and all that. Why? I just don't know. But yeah, I love the 757. I can't wait to fly it in the 7. It'd be great. It'll be a great addition along with the 737. So yeah, I also want to guys show you something too. I want to show you off some of my pictures of Discord. Let me show you my general Discord pictures. So you guys actually want to see some of my pics from my trip to Alaska. Let me go ahead and show you some of my pictures. Let me go ahead and yeah, I don't know why. Maybe the new 797 would be like the 75. I don't know. Or show you those pictures. This is some of my pictures, by the way. So this is some of my pics. So this here is from Louisville. We took it off from Louisville. And then once we hit there, we head from Charlotte. So we got to actually see some bits of Yellowstone National Park from our trip here to Seattle. Yes, we got to actually see Yellowstone, and then here's our landing to Seattle International Airport. So we got to see several cool little planes. I got to see a Korean Air and Air All Nippon Airways. We got to see quite a few little airlines, foreign ones. This will be the first time I've ever seen foreign airlines that I saw. And then there's some really cool Alaska Airlines planes. This is their Star Wars livery, along with a Toy Story livery. So we have different kinds of really cool planes. Yeah, Viper did plane spotting. And then we took some my brother helped me took a few pictures of downtown Seattle. And there's the famous Space Needle, by the way. I got to actually see the Space Needle, which is really cool, by the way. And then this is the inside of our cruise ship. This is the main deck of Discovery Princess. This is their newest ship, by the way. I hope to do an Alaska-based stream at some point. And then there's a float plane I saw. It looked like it may be from Kenmore Air. They operate seaplanes from here. There's the picture of the cruise ship. It's not as big as the Carnival one I've been to earlier in the year, but it's a pretty nice cruise ship. And there's the skyline from the ship. You can actually see the downtown skyline. Just some really cool images. Boats. And then this is my first trip. This is a Ketchikan, aka the salmon capital of the world. Some of these pictures are from the ship. So we've got some beautiful views of Alaska. And then there's obviously lots of float planes, and I definitely see some de Havilland Beavers. Some of those are Cessnas, but most of them are de Havilland Beavers or Otters. This was during the lumberjack competition as well. We have our lumberjacks. There's Ketchikan, the first city in Alaska. Salmon capital of the world. A couple statues, and of course yours truly. And I got even more images as well. Like here's the port and the dock. But yeah, you can definitely see the natural beauty of Alaska really, really well. And then this is one of my favorites. Endicott Arm. I mean, look, I mean this, Endicott Arm. I mean, just stunning. I mean, there's a glacier. This is actually a glacier we got to see here. Endicott Arm was absolutely beautiful. I took so many good pictures. Then there's Juneau, Alaska, which is the capital. I'll show more once I do the Alaska stream in detail. There's Mendenhall Glacier. It's actually been declined a lot since the 1950s. And yes, it was raining, and we got to see a few humpback whales. Then we made our way to Skagway. This picture of Skagway in the White Pass Railway, going up the gateway to the Yukon, was absolutely awesome. Got some amazing scenery shots. And finally, and even more screenshots. Yes, I got tons of screenshots of Skagway. And finally, the final night of the trip, it was my least favorite, but not because of the city itself. I had an issue with the tour guide moving forward. We got to ride through horses. My favorite was downtown. We definitely have some great shots. And then our final night in Seattle as well. Skyline of Seattle night. Then we had our way home. We got to see quite a few planes. I got to see a Lufthansa 777. And it's several Iceland Air 757s, 8330s from Iceland Air. And we made our way back home. So yeah, a little bit about home. A little bit about our Alaska trip. Glacier in Germany got staffed and moved because it's almost gone, almost too moving. Yeah, unfortunately, glaciers are going to be gone due to climate change. So yeah, just wanted to show you some bit of those images. So we're going to head to Litchfield. Litchfield is located here in population of 6,005. It was planted back in 1853. Originally named was Huntsville, but they changed its name to Litchfield later. The Mill Company, known for its evaporated filled milk, was founded in 1912 as Litchfield Creamery. And it's also home to the Litchfield Museum that was opened back in 2013. And one of the most famous areas in Litchfield is the Ariskin Cafe. It's one of the most famous restaurants on the I-66. It's one of the oldest that's been around. It was originally built in 1935 by the original owner of Pete Adam and Tom Spinokos, two experienced restaurateurs. They actually originally operated in 1924, but they moved here for Route 66. It was built in utilitarian style. And despite its non-stylistic, it contains echoes of Art Deco. Originally, it had two fuel pumps running in it, but it's been changed. And it's actually now the longest running operating restaurant on Route 66. It still retains a lot of its historic restaurants. Pretty cool stuff. Well. So down below us is Litchfield, downtown. There is the drive-in theater, one of the many drive-ins on Route 66, by the way, that's still upstanding. In front of us is Litchfield Municipal, the local airport around here. Over the BU-131 bypass. I definitely am interested for that BU-131, but I mean, I'm happy with the Tiger Mob and the Stearman, so I'm happy with it. Here's Litchfield. Aaron's local airport. But yeah, I'm glad you guys are doing well. Thank you so much. Yeah, there's something nice and relaxing by driving through Route 64. So we still have Paparazzi flying with me. I appreciate you flying along with me, Paparazzi. I mean, just having this view of Route 66 with the airlight, definitely a very unique scenery. So I'm planning on flying the Tiger Moth on stream once we get to Joplin. Once we get to Springfield, Missouri. Be doing not just Joplin flight, but also to Tulsa. Oh, you took this DC-6 from the storm in Florida. I think. Oh yeah, Hurricane Ian. Yes, Hurricane Ian is currently... It's currently headed north right now. Tomorrow, throughout the weekend, it'll move inland and then head north to places like Georgia, South Carolina, and then it'll dissipate over Kentucky and Virginia. It's not made landfall yet, but it's getting near. Yep. Let's hope everyone makes it out of that hurricane okay. Like all those people in the path, I hope they make it all right through the hurricane. So now we're heading towards Mount Olive in Illinois. So a bit about Mount Olive. One of the major points of interest is the Union Mine Cemetery, where miners that were killed during the labor union conflict of the Battle of Verdun and Mary Mother Jones were buried here at the cemetery. I have a boat in South Florida that I lost contact with an hour ago. Looks like seriously bad. Yeah, I feel the same. I hope they're doing all right. I hope they get through okay. Trust me, Florida's often really bad for hurricanes here in the United States. Like generally, the Gulf of Mexico region in the Caribbean, very big hurricane country, very big hurricane area around this region with the Gulf of Mexico and all that. That area gets hurricanes quite badly. And that's a similar parallel to in Asia with the Philippines, in Japan. So here's Mount Olive we're going through right now. So a bit of background about Mount Olive. It was actually been around. People have been living in this area since ancient times, but settlers first came here during 1817. The name Mount Olive comes from Olive or Olive Mountain, after the biblical Mount of Olives in Jerusalem. But one of its most famous landmarks here is a Solstice service station that was in Mount Olive. It's actually the oldest usable service station on the highway. It was built in 1926 by Henry Solstice after entering forced into the mining industry. And it pumped gas from that time to 1991, and it was originally closed in 1993. However, there are plans to rebuild this place as a museum. So we're actually on the old Route 66. Old Route 66, still some parts of it. So that is a bit about the history of the Solstice service station. And yes, and the reason I talk about that is because, well, there are many of these landmarks still in Route 66 that are historically important to them. So there's the tomb of all the miners and stuff that passed away during the Battle of Malden. This is Mount Olive. Here's our small town. About one big one in Florida every 5 years. Yeah. Pretty much, like, Florida is really, really bad. I think it's because of the water conditions around the Gulf of Mexico that gets near that hurricane. And there's the Solstice service station down to our left. There's the old service station. And we're going to get back onto the old Route 66. We're going to follow this old road back to not been anything like this one, I don't think. Oh, do you want me to remember me being an old man? I still remember what Hurricane Katrina did to New Orleans still. Like, Hurricane Katrina absolutely destroyed New Orleans back in 2006, and I still remember about when Katrina happened. That was still one of the worst hurricanes I've seen still in the news. So from here, we'll be going on the road. Continue following down the road back to St. Louis. So we are around, by the way, 56 nautical miles until we get here in St. Louis. It'll be about another hour. Yeah, Andrew removed Homestead from the map 30 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, Hurricane Andrew was another one that was really bad in Florida. I still don't have the SoFlight Storm pack. I probably could get it. But yeah, another Category 5 hurricane. Yeah, Homestead completely wiped out like 99% of all the mobile homes, just destroyed all the homes. Yeah, Andrew was devastating. I wasn't around to see Hurricane Andrew, unfortunately, but from what I read, Hurricane Andrew was beyond just devastating. I know people who live through Andrew ended up in a tree in their kitchen. Yeah. Wow, that's... I'm glad she made it all right, but seriously, hurricanes are no joke. They are absolutely deadly and all that. Like, hurricanes can be so deadly and all that because... And basically, I think you guys don't know what hurricanes are. But for some of those that don't know what a hurricane is, basically a hurricane is a storm which is rapidly rotating, characterized by a low pressure center with a closed level atmospheric circulation, strong wind, and spiral arrangement of thunderstorms that brings great squalls. So basically, but the main source of energy for a hurricane is warm ocean waters, which is why Florida gets really bad in the U.S. and also in the Pacific Ocean in the West. Yeah. Hurricanes are no joke, don't mess with them. So here's Livingston, down below us. There's Livingston. So, I want to talk about some pretty important, other stuff. So, one of the other important, aviation stuff that I do want to talk about, well, is going down to some interesting flying as well. Oh yeah, we're also getting the Citation Mustang pretty soon, from Coxburg, which is definitely very exciting, and I think we're also getting the Flodiac really soon too. I think within a week or so, we're getting Flodiac as well from Similar Studios. That's gonna come real soon. Because I saw from the announcements that Similar Studios is currently just about to finish, and then today, on the website, the Similar, the Zen of Siege 701, which was their first plane they did in Sim, is now for $10. And basically, the Zen basically is the ultimate skull plane. It can take off stupidly for distances. So definitely be really cool and interesting. And of course, I'm also really waiting for the DHC-7 to do some of the shorter regional routes. That would be a blast, dude. So yeah, definitely waiting for a lot of the updates. Then we're headed over to Camel, another one of the smaller towns here. Yeah, I really thank you guys so much for coming here today. It's still 40 people. That's still a lot on the stream today. So yeah, we're not far at all from our destination. We're not too far. 47 miles. So yeah, I want to ask you guys something since I won't be seeing you guys until Sunday, I hope you guys have had pretty big plans for the weekend, if it's pretty notable. If you have any pretty interesting plans that you're willing to share, that would be really appreciated. So my plans for the week is I've already got notes done for the next leg on Sunday. I got it all done in advance. Mainly, I'm going to continue to work ahead of the notes, so that way it'll be done by the time you guys get there. We have 55% of fuel remaining. We have about 55% fuel. I think we have enough to make the journey. There's a small community of Hamel, Illinois. That's what I'm planning on doing, just continue working on the slides a bit. Right now, actually, currently I've worked up the last couple streams. I'm now up to 123 slides so far, and this one that I'm on now is just 50 of 123, so I'm working on a ton of slides. But, I mean, once we get to St. Louis is where the real legs begin, because there's tons of communities on Route 66 throughout Missouri. To have you guys here again always. Is the small city of Edwardsville, so we will not be flying over it today. But about Edwardsville, Illinois. So some interesting information about Edwardsville. We won't be going near it today. But there actually have been alignments of Route 66. Route 66 we will be flying over Edwardsville. But we're going to go with the one that's closest in route to Route 66 originally. So bits of information about Edwardsville. It's actually in the suburb of St. Louis. 26,000 people live here. Named after Gideon Edwards, the governor of the Illinois Territory. It's known for Southern SIU Edwardsville. It's also the headquarters of the Prairie Farms Dairy, one of the largest dairy cooperatives in the U.S. some of its famous residents include the CEO of the Harlem Globetrotters, Manny Jackson. Along with Chief Spring Justice Jesse L. Simpson, and Major League Baseball pitcher Jason Ursinghauer currently lived in there too. So yeah, that's a little bit about Edwardsville. Miss with Izzy. He was really good. Yeah, Jason Ursinghauer. Yeah, Izzy. That dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, Yadier Molina. Oh, Yadi, that's right. Yadier Molina is future Hall of Famer Yadier Molina. Yeah, Yadier Molina actually is in Caseyville, Illinois. I'm from Casey. But actually, he used to live in Caseyville until 2015, and then Yadier Molina purchased a home in Springfield, Missouri. And that basically is a bit further south from St. Louis. So he actually lived all the way in It's going to be weird not seeing next year. Oh yeah, you're not going to be seeing him or Albert Pujols or Adam Rainbow next year. You won't be seeing any of those three players next year, Car. It's going to be weird not seeing those three next year. Well, he might be back, but I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe he might be back, but I don't. This season for baseball, by the way. So it turns out the Guardians managed to win their division. Yes, the youngest team in baseball managed to win the division. Most people thought the Twins or White Sox were going to win, not the Guardians. I just hope they can't replace Yadier Albert. I think of the two that's hardest to replace, the hardest one to replace of those is definitely Yadier Molina. You can't replace that defense. Having a good defense is harder to replace with a good defensive player. It's hard to replace with defense. So I guess for you Major League Baseball fans, if you don't remember, I used to do a baseball series back in 2022 when I first streamed. Maybe next year in 2023, I might do something similar with either the NFL in this case, with the NFL teams, maybe about American football, or do something related to sports, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'd do something with Monday Night Football or something, or Sunday Night Football, or college maybe. But maybe I was thinking about that. Maybe I need to ask the Merc if I can help with some content. So we're going to be headed towards Collinsville next. So let's pull up the slideshow for Collinsville. So Collinsville, Illinois, it's located here in Madison County. It's in St. Clair County, Illinois. It is a population of 25,579 people. It is the site of the Brooks Catsup bottled water tower, which is considered by many to be the world's largest ketchup bottle. And it proclaims itself to be the world's horseradish capital. Yes, horseradish. Basically what horseradish is, basically for those who don't know, it's actually a perennial plant located in the Brassicaceae family, which includes mustard, wasabi, broccoli, cabbage, and radish. It is a root vegetable used as a spicy condiment. It's possibly native to Southeast Europe and Western Asia. And people have cultivated this for thousands of years, and they mainly use it for culinary uses. It's most well known for its pungent taste, thanks to the compound allyl-isocyanate. And during Passover, many Jews outside of Israel use grated horseradish for their choice of bitter herbs for Passover. And of course, it's used as a sauce, horseradish sauce, which is made from grated root and vinegar to make the classic horseradish sauce. So yeah, that is a bit about horseradish. Also from around the area, you can find Chickasaw Mountains Historic Site, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. And apparently this area, it's said to be produced nearly 85% of the world's horseradish, and it's such high quality that people in Germany and China actually import it for their use for the gourmet. And they even have a horseradish festival during the first weekend of June. It's also known for its large ethnic Italian population of the late 19th and 20th century immigrants. During World War I, in fact, it was the only wartime murder in the country happened here in Collinsville in 1918. It's also got the horse racetrack, the Fairmount Park racetrack. And some famous residents include Team USA Olympic volleyball player Michelle Bartish-Hackley, Robert Frazier, a German immigrant who was actually lynched. In the lead singer of Arian, Michael Stipp. He graduated high school from here. Hey, first time chat to Agent Presta. Good to see you. Lemon cocktail sauce. I usually add extra horseradish. Ah, interesting. You see, I don't really like cocktail sauce. I don't like horseradish sauce, but I don't really like cocktail sauce. And then this is the Brooks Catsup bottled water tower. This water tower is the largest. It claims to be the largest catsup tower. It claims to be the largest ketchup bottle in the world. It's a prime century of 20th century novelty architecture. It's a regional landmark and roadside attraction, and it was featured in the 2004 PBS documentary, a program about unusual buildings and other roadside stuff. But basically, this tower, apparently it was actually built back in 1949. When it was back originally, it was supposed to supply water to the ketchup plant that's actually nearby. A little bit about interesting roadside attractions, but good to see you, Agent Presta. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Yeah. And there's downtown St. Louis to our left, home of the Redbirds. Unfortunately, there seems to be no further entry area, so we won't be seeing the ketchup bottle, unfortunately. But I believe we'll see the other major monument in this area, because right nearby is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Chocola. There's a lot of interesting things about the mountains. For one, this is actually the site of a pre-Columbian Native American city, which existed, according to estimates, 1050 to 1350 AD. It covers 2,200 acres of land and contains 80 human-made mounds. But the ancient city was actually even larger, as apex around 1100 CE, it covered around 6 square miles and included 120 earthworks. It was the largest and most influential urban settlement of the ancient Mississippian culture, which developed advanced society through what is now much of the central eastern U.S., more than 1,000 years ago before contact with Europeans. Today, it's considered to be the largest and most complex archaeological site in north of the great pre-Columbian cities in Mexico. It is one of the 24 UNESCO World Heritage sites located here in the U.S. And it is a very famous thing on Route 66. A lot of people Route 66 do visit here, and there is a lot of different developments. It peaked during the 11th and 12th century as a major hub for the cultures. Usually the production of bows, but also and other hand tools. And they said population at its peak was between 6,000 to 40,000 people. However, during the 13th, 14th century, it declined due to a lot of environmental factors like immigration and climate change. And also invasion from outside people. You can see all sorts of famous features, including Mount 72 and more. And of course, Monk's Mound, which is the largest structure here. So maybe we might get a chance to see some of the mounts. Drop down a little bit. So we can take a closer look. So we can actually see some of these structures. Let's go ahead and move down the slideshow and take a visit to the historic mountains. So there's the, this is the horse racing track. There's a horse racing track. And they're actually a PY land marker. You should have a PY marker somewhere. There's St. Louis. And yeah, you can definitely see the Gateway Arch back there if you notice. There's the Gateway. I mean, you can't miss the Gateway Arch. That's like one of those iconic landmarks in the entire city of St. Louis. You can't miss it. So, this is the Chocola Mounds Heritage Site. Okay, this here is the tallest site. This is Mound. It is the tallest site here on National Park. Here it is. here it is, guys. So this here is Monk's Mound. Here, this is the most famous part about the Chickawa National Park. This is Monk's Mound, by the way. And some interesting tidbits about Monk's Mound. It is around 100 feet high, 951 feet long, and 836 feet wide, and it covers 13 acres. And apparently, it was named after the Trappist monks that used to reside here for a short time. And it turns out when they excavated the place, they actually revealed that it was a large building, and it was likely a temple or a residence for the paramount chief, which is the highest level political leader of the city. So we actually got some interesting burials and all that with ramps and other structures. And they actually built the structures on top of each other, which is pretty cool. But yeah, this is Monk's Mound. Let me go ahead. There's also another PY here. So let's go look at them. Boom. Yeah, this is Chickawa. And this is more of the Chickawa lands. But this is more of the other parts of the national park, where you find more archaeological sites. But yeah, this is the most famous part of the park. So let's get back into the plane. How cool is that? You guys get to actually see a National World Heritage Site on your Route 66 journey. So from here, we're going to head on to our next intersection. And we're going to head our way into Gateway Motorsports Park. It's currently used for NASCAR just this year. It is 1.25 miles. Is about 1.25 miles long oval. It currently hosts the NASCAR Cup Series along with the Craftsman Truck and IndyCar Series. The first major event originally was held in May 24th, 1997, which is the Indy Racing Leagues 500. Currently held here. It can hold up to 70,000 people. It originally broke down in the oval back in 1995. But for 2000 season, for the 2002 season, they currently hold upgrades to the facility to allow NASCAR to host their events here once again. And mainly, the main Cup Series race for this is the Enjoy Illinois 300. And it just held here this year, with the winner being Joey Logano here in St. Louis. You should definitely see being the raceway. And again, look at this, downtown St. Louis. So yeah, there's St. Louis. There's the Gateway Arch. I see the old Rams Dome, the old Edwards Jones Dome, or the Dome of America Center. I think I can see a little bit of Busch Stadium over here. And I believe right around this area you see the brewery. Yeah, you can definitely see those from a distance. And by the way, I did explore St. Louis earlier on the City Tour series. So I did a whole tour of it. If you guys like what you see, and if you haven't followed yet, don't be afraid to smash the follow button. and definitely check out the channel. Help me get to 500. No. Now that we turn across here, we're going to be heading towards the direction. We'll be heading towards Madison, Illinois, right next to Granite City. Hey, Quantico's this follow. We're 465 out of 500. I think you got so much for the new balls in the rain. So yeah, this is Madison, Illinois. So here's Madison to our left. Madison's also famous for being the home to the first Bulgarian Orthodox church here in the country. And then right next to it is Granite City, founded in 1896, named after the Niederhaus brothers, who established a steel-making company town for their kitchen utensils back in the old days. And they made it a major company town. Definitely see here in front of us is one of the major steel making places. This is where they used to make the steel back in the day. One of the many steel plants. So this part here was used to be the steel making town. You can definitely see all the steel making stuff from around here. Beautiful areas. Yeah, guys, we're not far at all. We only have 17 miles left, so we don't have very far to go at all for today's journey. We're basically on the final stretch. So yeah, let's see if the bot works. So predict my landing. So predict landing, estimation what predict. Left. But no, the reason we're going to go around is because next leg we're going to be going through downtown St. Louis. So we're going to go briefly over county. So from here, we're going to be going up here. We're going to turn right. Once we get to the end of this intersection, we turn right. Now, around you would reach Camp River Du Bois. This is where Lewis and Clark officially started their journey on their world famous expedition. Good to see you, Mr. 90. Good to see you in the chat. Bye. So there's another speedway we're going to be seeing to our right. This is the dirt track. We're going at 69 knots. We're going quite fast. And 43 of you guys are still here. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, 43 of you guys are still here. I really appreciate it. You guys have been absolute legends. All the people in the chat, the follows. So let's get this finished up. We're going to turn left pretty soon. Which is actually right about now when we start turning left. And we're going to go to the last landmark for today's trip. We're going to be visiting the Chain of Rocks Bridge. This old bridge was, which is famous for its 22-degree bend in the middle of the crossing. Originally, it was a motor route. It was for a time used by U.S. Route 66 to cross over the Mississippi River into Missouri. Though it now carries only walking and biking trails to do. Now, currently, most motor traffic is now connected over to, well, the Mckinley Bridge, which we'll be flying over pretty much later. But this bridge was originally opened back in 1929, so it's over 93 years old. They instead built a new Chain of Rocks Bridge, which is runs to the north. So we'll be seeing both the old and the new Chain of Rocks Bridge, but we're mainly going to the old one. So there's that. There is the old and new Chain of Rocks Bridge. Unfortunately, they're not modeled in the sim, unfortunately, but there's the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. Actually, that's not the bridge. This is Choteau Island. But yeah, we can see the city of St. Louis here. So yeah, there is now the Chain of Rocks. There's the new one. And then we're going to turn left because we're going to go see the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. There's the new one. I guess they don't call the old Chain of Rocks Bridge, is it? Okay, there's where the old chain of rocks would be. There's the new one. Yeah, this is the old chain of rocks bridge. This used to, unfortunately, it does not show up in the sim, believe it or not. Weird. And we're now entered into Missouri today, the Show Me State. We're finally into a new state today. Welcome to Missouri, guys, the Show Me State. Yeah, we know, and now we're only 8 miles away from our final stop here at Lambert Airport. This is St. Louis's main international airport, by the way. It's the country's largest medium hub airport. It's the largest, busiest in all of Missouri. It serves nearly 16 million passengers every year. It was more than 259 daily departures to 78 non-stop domestic and international locations. It's a pretty big airport, and it rose into prominence during the 20th century thanks to its association with Charles Limbaugh. Its ATC patrol, which is groundbreaking at the time, and gained the status as the primary hub for TWA, Trans World Airlines, in its iconic terminal building. They fly to all sorts of destinations, including Toronto, Seattle, obviously all across the United States, Cancun, and more. They fly to all sorts of places around the world too. Definitely a pretty big airport as well. Its busiest airline, it's definitely a major hub for Southwest Airlines, and they fly all around the country. In some areas around the world, like Punta Cana in Cancun. So yeah, definitely a very important regional, definitely a very important medium hub. So yeah, that is it. That's going to be for the slides for today. So we are going to land on runway, I think we're going to land on runway 30 left and find somewhere good to, or actually 30 right, and we're going to find somewhere good to park. Here, land. Wow, you guys have all been amazing. So yeah, I hope this will be a great time for here as well, and that is leg 2 of the Route 66 journey. Man, we already got 2 legs done. So on Sunday, we'll be heading off to Springfield, Missouri, considered by many to be the birthplace of Route 66. We'll go through many of the really cool places around Missouri. And then on Sunday, we will be going over and then on next Wednesday, we'll be going from Springfield to Tulsa. That's because we'll be going in one leg into Joplin and then the other leg straight to Tulsa, which will be next Wednesday's flight. We'll go through 2 legs, actually. But man, it's definitely fantastic being with you guys today. And what a great place. I mean, there's just something about going to fly in a plane that's as fast as your car over much of Route 66. Like that's definitely a real fun. Yeah, we're about to land. Runway 30 right. Then we're gonna have to find someone to raid. That's a good question. There it is. We're at St. Louis Lambert. I jumped on now. I'm in the drifter. Oh, yeah. Awesome, Merwas. All right, guys. That's it. We're going to make our landing. Fun. Here it is, St. Louis Lambert. Oh, 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 oh. No. There's Paparazzi. There's Merwas. Oh, awesome. Dingo 72, that's awesome. Great landing. Mr. 90, you got really close. You're only about -7 off. Actually, -8 off. Oh, it's 7. Just gonna find someone to park. Awesome. Yeah, fantastic flight. Just gonna find somewhere to park. Yeah, that drifter is a very fun little ultralight. It's very fun. And I'll for sure take the drifter out at some point on the Route 66. fan. And so, yeah, that's it. We made our way to St. Louis, Missouri. We're in Lambert Airport, just outside of downtown St. Louis. So, wow. So that is leg number 2 complete. So guys, thank you so much for this stream. Seriously, you guys have been amazing today. I want to give a massive shout out to the Flying Fabio again for this awesome raid. I mean, he has been awesome. And all the new follows and the new people in chat. A massive thank you for everyone for coming here today. So a massive thank you. So let's talk about the plans for this upcoming stream thing. On Sunday, you will be seeing me taking off from here, from Lambert. We're going to be heading down to another Springfield. This time, it's Springfield, Missouri. And then next Wednesday, we'll go actually do 2 legs of a journey because they're relatively short. So we'll go from Springfield to Joplin for that. And then on the same day, we'll be heading from Joplin to Tulsa, Oklahoma. So yeah, that is going to be the plan for the next 2 streams. So now we need to find someone to raid. This is going to be interesting. Who am I going to be raiding today? Actually, he just came on. I think I know who we're going to raid today. So guys, if you don't know who he is an awesome, awesome fight sim content creator. That person is none other than Fly Lilo. He just came on, and I thought we're going to go ahead and raid Fly Lilo's channel. He just came on, and he's doing a flight with the A320. Thank you guys so much for the awesome stream. You guys have been amazing, and I hope to see you guys on Sunday. Take care, everyone. Bye.